And This is Water by David Foster Wallace. He talks about many topics and ways to look at the world differently. The main points in his speech that pop out to me are that you are not the center of the earth, stay aware of the situation you are in, and finding ways to click off default mode, as he puts it. You are not the center of the earth might seem like an obvious statement, and you might be thinking, yeah, but in reality, we base everything around us to meet our needs. He made this very clear in the middle of his speech when he talks about the man with the white-collar job. He gives us a scenario that states that he's frustrated at the world because he's looking at it as if it revolved around him. In fact, later he talks about unlikely situations that are very good possibilities. These situations to a listener open up their eyes to look at the events/things from a different view. My next point is to stay aware of the situation you are in. This one kind of ties in with the last one because you take situations and almost put yourself in other shoes. When the man was ready to check out, he was frustrated at everything that was going on and almost took it out on the cashier. Wallace then slowed down the situation and said something about all the other lanes were closed and that it was not her fault that the line was slow and very long. In fact, he even talked about how her job hours were longer and possibly even worse than his because she has a worse job. So he said to think of things in that sense. And he also talks about a point when the person is in a car and he's driving along and a dad cuts in front of him. But he says to maybe think about how the dad might have a child in the seat next to him and he might be very sick and he might be trying to hurry up and get to the hospital in time before something worse could happen to the child. That to me opened up my eyes to make me think about things more deeply and like put myself in other people's shoes, because if I was in that father's shoes, I'd be rushing to the hospital as quick as possible because I wouldn't want anything to happen to my son. My last point is to click off of default mode, which means to go beyond what others normally do. If you do just what you're told and what you're expected to do, you're not going to get anywhere in life. You need to go out of your way to do better than the others around you so you stick out. And this is a point that everybody should follow, I believe, because why would you want to be normal or just as good as everybody else when you are born to stick out and you know you can do better than other people? By doing this, you're going to excel further in life than other people who just do what the average person does. You're going to get the jobs you want, you're going to get the promotions you want, and your life is just overall going to be better. So when he brings up these 3 points, I think about putting them into perspective on how I'd do this in my life, and that's why they stuck out to me so well. But in the end, David Foster Wallace's speech has many different takeaways that you can get. Just switch your brain off of default mode and see what you can take away from his speech.